let's build some half doors. What's up? Welcome back to Machines Inc. And today we're gonna do some dumb Jeep people stuff. So I want to make some half doors. Honestly, I'm normally like a windows up on the highway kind of guy. And yeah, like splashing through mud and shit like that, I put the windows up. Like, I don't want to get nasty. I don't want the inside of the Jeep getting nasty. Especially if you're like camping for a couple days and you're not gonna be able to take a shower. Like, kind of nice just to stay clean. But recently, it's been super hot here in Colorado. The Jeep does have AC, but like driving up the highway passes, I can't run the AC just because the coolant temperature gets so hot in the Jeep. So I have to roll windows down anyways. And I don't know, half doors just seem fun, especially if I can just pop them on and off of here. So I got a sweet deal on a set of doors. I picked up this set here for 50 bucks. Anyways, I want to try to knock out a good chunk of this today, and I'm just going to start gutting these things, and then we're going to start cutting. Alright, so we got these things all gutted out, and then now I just pulled the hinges off, and it's time to start cutting the hinges. I'm not going to go super into detail how you do this, but essentially you just cut the bottom portion of the hinge off the door side, and that makes them like a quick release, but there's like 1 million videos on how to do that. Bleepin' Jeep has one from like 15 years ago that shows that. So yeah, gonna go ahead and slice this. We're gonna go ahead and slice both these hinges, bolt them back on, just so I don't forget their orientation, and then probably just go ahead and start slicing the door. Alright, so went ahead and made like the quick release hinges for the, what was it, the driver's side door. Super easy. You cut the bottom off, you know, you beat the rest of the hinge off, and just sharpen that little push pin so it'll drop in easy. This side, however, so on the passenger side, they put the door pin upside down. I'm assuming they just make the hinges all the same in the factory, and just one side of the car they bolt, you know, upside down essentially. So those pins, you have to beat those out and then beat them back down to the top, so the flat portion of the pin remains on top. Holy shit, that took like an hour. I got out the torch, completely like nuked them hot, beating on them like crazy, and then finally got them broken loose. But yeah, it sounds easy to reverse those pins, but it definitely takes a hot second. But we got these done. I'll need to like adjust them when they're on the car, but I did a longer pin on top and a shorter pin on bottom. And what that's going to do is just like whenever you're putting the doors on, you can just line up the top, sink it a little bit, then look at the bottom, line it up, and drop the door on. So hopefully that'll make life a little bit easier. But yeah, now that I got the hinges done, not excited. I have to do it one more time for the doors on the Jeep. But now it is time to go ahead and start kind of mapping out how I want to cut them. I just start slicing them up. So let's get to chopping. Well, I got this one all cut up and I was ready to rip that door off to test fit it, but I found out that I need some shorty Torx bit sockets, so ordered some of those. I'll have them tomorrow, and for right now, kind of dead in the water. Alright, so we are back. It's a new day. I got the tool that I needed. Essentially, I just needed some shorty Torx bits. The ones I have are like 1 inch long, and it just couldn't fit on that hinge between the door. But now that I got my shorties, I went to the Jeep and pretty much immediately rounded off 2 of the bolts. Everything else broke free, came free. So those last 2, I'm gonna have to get the grinder out and probably just grind the heads off to pop the door off. But anyways, yeah, the hardest part of this is definitely getting the doors off. Aside from pushing that pin in and out of the hinge. You know what? This whole process sucks. So yeah, let's whip out the grinder, piss off all my neighbors, and start making a bunch of noise. Alright, so got the half door on. I'm really just setting it up right now to see how far I want to cut it down. So let's go take a look at it. So I initially did the cut following this body line. I just thought that would look clean. But honestly, the door still looks too thick to me. And cruising along, it definitely could get cut down just a little bit lower. I think I'm going to take like 2 more inches off of it. And what that's going to do is make the cut land right above the latch. So I don't have to modify that at all. But that rips the keyhole off. Obviously don't need that anymore. It's not going to follow the body line perfect, but I think that'll give it more of like the half door feel, where there's like a lot more room to be able to like lean out and see outside of the cab. So we tried to kind of like solder those door handle attachments on, and that just didn't work. It was getting way too much heat into the panel, which was warping it. Those were kind of nice door panels, and I don't want to mess them up. So I'm headed up to my buddy's Carrie's house. He's got a TIG welder. He's also got like aluminum mixed spool gun, but I think we're just gonna TIG weld these handles on real quick. Probably gonna let him do it. I played with the TIG a little bit, but he can definitely lay a lot nicer welds. Alright, so we're at Carrie's house. If you watch the channel, you've seen it plenty. Gonna get this puppy all welded up. But what I really brought the camera here for was to show you his Jeep, which is a fucking sick XJ with a big 4-link and tons and big truss, full hydro steering, and it's been sitting here for a long time. So I just need you guys all flame carry in the comments to actually finish this so we can go wheeling at some point in time.
One day.
One day. But she's fucking sick though, dude. So we are back in the garage. These doors are getting super close to be finishing up. And I went ahead and set up this door handle. So essentially that bracket that Carrie welded on there, I drilled a hole and put a rib nut in it. And then that's what's bolting on the door handle. So this is fully attached now. The last thing that I really need to do that's gonna take some effort is take the old rods from these doors, modify one to go from the latch to the door handle down here, since the door handle previously sat like about here-ish. But yeah, big thank you to Carrie for welding those up. And in all seriousness, do not roast him in the comments for those welds. I think he's TIG welded like twice. He just got that TIG welder. But 100% roast him in the comments for not getting that Jeep done. He literally bought that lift, mounted it in his garage, put the Jeep on it, raised it up, cut everything off the bottom, and then it sat there for like a year. And it's super sick. He's got like all the parts for it. He's got tons, 40s, bead locks, front and rear lockers, full hydro steering. You saw like that super long arm 4-link triangulated front and rear. It's gonna be a super rad crawler, but he just needs to get out and get it done. So yeah, definitely roast him in the comments and make him feel bad about not getting that thing on the trail yet. So, pretty simple here. It's just a bent edge. So I'll use one of the already made ones to hook into the latch side. And then wherever it lands over by the handle, cut it, heat it up, bend it, and should just mount right in there. Should. So we got these half doors done and I'm super stoked how they turned out. So they definitely operate pretty smooth. We just did a single door handle on the inside for a couple reasons. One, it's super easy to get to. And two, I think the door looks a lot cleaner on the outside. And three, it just saved me a lot of time setting up one door handle versus doing an inside and an outside one. But I like the way it looks like this, so I'm pretty stoked. You guys will definitely see some body damage on these doors. They were not perfect when I got them, and I did zero body work to them. I figured these are crawler doors. I don't really care if there's some dents and dings. They're probably gonna get a lot more. But overall, it's not like the rest of this Jeep's a real princess, so I think it's gonna fit in just fine. The biggest thing that's difficult setting up these half doors is whenever you put a set of doors on, you need to adjust all the shims and strikers so the door shuts nice. And I have all of that adjusted for my full doors, but almost none of that fit for the half doors. So I did have to kind of make some custom shims, kind of bend some things around these half doors, because I want my full doors to be the ones that continue to fit perfect. If these ones fit like a little off, I'm not too worried about it. But I got them opening and closing smooth, and that's really the biggest thing that I care about. So definitely happy about that. Some of you guys might be wondering what the foam padding is on the top of the door. That is surf traction pad. So same stuff you put on like paddle boards or like skim boards. It's just 3M adhesive and a waterproof foam on top. I just did that so like if you're wheeling, bouncing around, if your arm smacks it, just gives you a little bit of cushion. On top of that, it also makes the door look a little bit more finished. So that's definitely nice. And it kind of covered up the ring of my cup holder that dropped in. And I know you guys saw those cup holders earlier. I was kind of like hyping up, they were like Kibitech-esque. If you guys are interested in those, they were just like Amazon ones, but they're drop-in for poker tables. Plain black or silver ones are like $5 each. The gold ones were like $15 each, but worth it, right? They look pretty baller. Speakers wise, just got some super cheap Rockford Fosgate speakers. They were like $45, something like that. And then like I mentioned, just reuse the inner door panel, or just reuse the inner door handle. So all in all, these weren't too expensive to make, but definitely excited to use them out on the trail. Thanks for following along with this build, guys. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to drop that down in the comment section below. I try to get back to everyone and answer everything that I can. If you guys like this video and you guys want to see some more fabrication and 4x4 content, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we got plenty more videos coming. And as always, guys, I really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.